Good morning, Transurfers. I am Renee Garcia, and this is TransurfingTV, the only official YouTube channel for Reality Transurfing that is endorsed by Vadim Zeland himself, the author and creator of Reality Transurfing. This is day 7, Illusion of the Reflection. This is an awesome lesson because it's really getting into the thick of that whole concept of the reflection, and it's starting to differentiate the differences between something like you telling your world that you don't want something as opposed to you telling your world that you do want something. So when my reality really started to change, and I teach this a lot in my Mo Money course and my Becoming Magnetic course, is when I stopped looking to my reality saying, I don't want this. I don't want to be poor anymore. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to keep having a hard time finding my romantic partner. Why is this happening to me? So again, when you're doing that sort of stuff, even though your intentions are good, right? You want the money, you want the romantic partner, your mirror is still distorted and something isn't quite happening the right way and you're left confused. Why isn't this working? I'm telling my world what I want, but you're not telling your world what you want. You're telling your world what you don't want, and then your world unfortunately gives you more of the same thing because it doesn't understand statements like that. So the way that I like to say it is this, right before I get into the lesson, is that you gotta look away from your past and what you don't want, right? Looking down and back at I don't want this anymore, and I don't want to be like this anymore, and I don't want to struggle. And you got to turn around and you got to face forward, and you got to look in the direction of what it is you do want, what it is you strive to achieve. This is going to be huge in getting that mirror reflection starting to change. It was like night and day for me when I started doing this. It changed everything. So I will get into the lesson. I'll give the statement, Vadim Zeland's interpretation, and then kick in my 2 cents, and we'll go from there. So day 7, the illusion of the reflection. Statement. It seems to you that you are in the mercy of circumstances and are unable to change them. Actually, this is an illusion. Illusion that you can easily destroy if you wish. You can unconsciously move into a closed circle, observing reality, expressing attitude. The mirror fixes the content of your attitude into reality. This results into a closed feedback circle. The reality is formed as a reflection of how you think, and the image is largely determined by the reflection itself. The principle for reality controlling is that you should revert the circle, to watch yourself in the first place, and only after that to look into the mirror. Vadim Zeland's interpretation. People are tied to the mirror of their attitude. The primitive reaction to reality, just as primitive as an attempt to catch the reflection in an effort to change something in it. Now, let's try to revert the mirror circle. Express attitude. The mirror fixes the content of the attitude into reality. We observe the reality. Then what happens? The primitive and helpless observation of the reflection is discontinued, and the deliberate and intentional observation of the image appears in its place. Instead of being critical to what I saw in the mirror, as I did previously, now I turn back to it and start forming my mind the image I'd like to see instead. This is the exit of the mirror labyrinth. The world stops and begins to move the way I want it to. When you take control over your attitude to reality, the external intention begins to work, and with it, everything is possible. The only thing you have to do is to transfer your attention on to the image you want instead of the mirror. In other words, control your thoughts. Do not think what you don't want or try to avoid. Instead, think about what you want, and remember, there is nothing you cannot do, be, or have. Okay, so getting back to it again, and I say this so often because everyone that is listening to this, everyone that is following me, everyone that is just happening on this information now, this took me a lifetime to figure out, and this is the most powerful bit of knowledge that I have ever come across that has helped me to transform my life. And it is this: stop thinking about what you don't want. Stop thinking about what you would like to change. Stop thinking in the direction that something in your life is not good and you don't want it there anymore, or it has to go, or some other negative or even just neutral thought. Always gear everything towards the positive perspective now. Look in that direction of what it is you want, and have this language in your mind that you are striving to achieve this particular thing, and that is your sole focus. Don't think about what you don't want. Think about what you strive to achieve instead. So, not to go on a huge tangent here or anything, but for, you know, the duration that humanity's been around, we've been thinking about it all wrong, right? And rightfully so. When we were primitive people, when we were caveman, we had to think about what we did not want to see happen just in order for us to survive. So that shit is like really, really, really ingrained in our minds, right? I don't want to struggle. I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to see my bank account at zero. I don't want to have to struggle professionally. This is all survival stuff, and we run on this stuff. This is embedded in our DNA. So now we have a different option, right? We have reality transurfing. Our minds are evolving. We don't have to outchase a wild animal that's going to eat us in order to survive anymore, which is what our brains are still kind of doing. So start asking yourself today, what sort of language are you using telling you that you don't want something anymore, right? That you don't want to struggle, that you don't want this, that you don't want that, that you'd like to see this change, but you don't know how, all that kind of stuff. And get something, a big goal, find a big goal, even if it's outlandish. Put something out there forward in a direction of you moving ahead, and just focus on that thing you strive to achieve instead. Even if the goal is that you're just not going to do the I don't want anymore, right? So if you guys do not have my reprogramming stickers, we have them on the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group. They're awesome. They really do gear your mind towards that forward and upward movement, right? They are reprogramming stickers. They help you to actually start feeling this stuff and start looking away from that past I don't want. So if you'd like to participate in using those, they have helped a lot of people. Again, just go on to the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group and type in the search reprogramming stickers. You can print them out, post them around. You can take them to FedEx or Kinko's and have them make stickers, and they are awesome, and I highly suggest them to everyone. But that gets you kind of interacting with your mirror in a really positive way very, very quickly. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Stay tuned for day 8, the Pink Twins. That one's a really, really interesting one. And yes, of course, ask questions here. Thumbs up if you like this video, comment, question, and join us on ITI. Bye, guys.